college football rankings. Who's in, who's out. We're going to get another idea of where the college football committee is at. There was some upsets this past weekend. Some teams lost. I expect Texas to be out of the top 12 because now they have 3 losses in total, so they should be completely out. They should have zero chance of making the college football playoffs if the college football committee is consistent, which I'm hoping that they are. And also, Alabama beat Oklahoma. So Oklahoma also should be out because if memory serves me correctly, they also have 3 losses on the season as well. So there's going to be teams that should be left out. Do I think they'll be left out? Hopefully, but maybe not, because maybe this college football committee will be thinking of something else entirely. Like, well, they might have 3 losses, but look who they lost to type stuff. Okay, no. If you have 3 losses, there should be other teams that have way more consideration in making playoffs versus any team with 3 losses. Any team. 3 losses, generally to me, like you should be out altogether, completely. You shouldn't be able to have the chance to take a spot over a 2-loss team or a 1-loss team or a 1 undefeated team. You know, so I expect totally Texas to be done. They should be like maybe down in the top 15 to 20, if I'm being honest, because if you rank them above their 15, you're still saying, hey, well, you still got a chance. But no, I take that back. Alabama's the one who lost. So how far is Alabama going to drop? Because they lost Oklahoma. Well, Oklahoma should be in because they beat Alabama. So there's going to be different scenarios that the committee had to figure out this week. And we're just going to get a mindset of where they're at and who's going to be our final teams. I think there's this ranking, and then there's one more ranking left. And then you got the last ranking on, I think it's December 7th. I'm pretty sure that's like the final ranking. And of course, I think that's after the Big Ten, not the Big Ten championship, but just after, all the championship games have been played is when we will get our final ranking, like who's in it. But this is just giving us an idea of the mind of the college football committee. And if they're consistent, then Texas should be nowhere because they didn't. Georgia absolutely humiliated them. So, saying what do you do with Oklahoma with that big win over Alabama and all the other teams as well that lost this week that are ranked? What do you do with them? It's going to look completely different from last week's ranking. And so I'm just interested to see where do all these teams fall. And we already know the best team in college football, we will be number 1, obviously, because we should be number 1 because we are the best team in college football. We're the national undefeated champs, and we're still undefeated. So, yeah, we're going to be number 1, obviously, going into this week ranking and next week ranking because we play Rutgers. Yeah, Rutgers, I know, right? I'm even thinking about maybe bringing back the cupcake because I'm not 100% sure if I'll do that or not. But maybe, just maybe. But stay tuned for that. But yeah, these rankings are going to be completely different from last week. And I'm just going to see where all these other teams, what are they going to do with all these teams? What are they going to do with Alabama, Oklahoma, Alabama has their 2nd loss of the season, so they should still be in the college football ranking. But like I said, Texas should not be nowhere near the top 15 whatsoever. No doubt in my mind. And hopefully, the committee will see that football logic. And apparently, according to the guy who is like the top head person in charge of the whole college football committee, they do watch the games and they analyze the games. So that's a good thing that they actually are paying attention to the games. And so with that in mind, Texas should not be ranked at all. And who's going to be number 3? I don't know. Probably Texas A&M, I would imagine. I'm pretty sure they won their game last weekend, but pretty much they got only like cupcakes left on their schedule, so they have a really good shot of making the playoffs. And we already know we're number 1, the Buckeyes, obviously. That's a no-brainer. And number 2 is still going to be Indiana, even though they nearly beat the team that they were playing, nearly. So, we'll be interested to see. Maybe they'll flip those spots. I don't see why they would. They probably wouldn't do that just to stay, consistent. So, we will find out where they're going to put these teams at as soon as they reveal the list here. I'm intrigued to find out the top 15 down. That's the eye gap you got to keep your eye for, the top 15. Now, the top 15 and lower, 15 to 25, yeah, that's important too. But really, 15 through 1, those are the teams right there that they are really considering putting into the college football ranking. But none of these teams are ranked right here. So we got 25, Arizona State, 24, Tulane, 23, Houston, 22, Missouri, 21, Illinois. None of those teams are ranked. So now this is their first time in the college football ranking playoffs. And so, bravo to them, I guess. Majority of them got 3. Here's 20 to 16. 20, Tennessee. 19, Virginia. 18, that team up north. 17, Texas. They moved down 7 spots from where they were ranked. They're done with the college football committee. In that 16, you got Georgia Tech, which is very important for Georgia Tech fans right there because they could win the ACC championship and make the playoffs. So at 16 and up, they definitely got a good chance at making the college football playoff. But Texas fell down 7. 17, yeah, I guess you can put them at 17. They have no hope left whatsoever. Texas fans, your season's done. Just hope for a good bowl game because you ain't making no playoffs. Rightfully so. The committee did a good thing, but I'm surprised that Georgia Tech is sitting there at 16. Georgia Tech, you have an opportunity. And there's probably going to be teams that lose above you, so they're going to be able to move up. And moving up 2 spots at the number 15 spot is going to go ahead and be USC. They're sitting at 8-2 right now on the season. Yeah, they still have hope, right? Any of these teams and that's not in the top 12 already have hope. Right, but if you're in the top 12, you want to obviously keep your spot and not move down like Texas did. But Texas deserved it. So, listen, you got to win 3 games. You're out at number 14. You got Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's fans are screaming at the top of their lungs right now. And up 2 spots above them is number 13, Miami. With their 2 losses, all of those 3 teams, USC, Vanderbilt, Miami, they all have 2 losses. Miami still has a chance to make the ACC championship game, so they obviously still have a great opportunity to go ahead and make the college football playoff. But I do believe, I haven't been paying close attention to the ACC, but I think they may need some teams to lose in front of them in order to get to that ACC championship game to, hopefully for them, win that game and then secure their spot because all 5 champions get a spot in the college football playoffs. So if you win your conference, you get an automatically bid if you're a champion. So championship games are very important. At 12, we got Utah, and then right above them at 11, BYU. I don't think BYU deserves to be in the top 12 right now. They got absolutely walloped by, I can't even remember the team that they were playing, but whatever, I guess if you want to put them at 20, whatever. But down 6 spots, this is important, where they put down Alabama. They put Alabama at 10, the top 10. So Alabama is still in the top 10. So if you're Alabama, though, you have to win out. You cannot afford to lose one more loss. And So Alabama, they still got a good chance of making the college football playoffs. Again, they just got to win out all their games. And me personally, I'm hoping that they do lose at least one more game because I don't want to see them in the playoffs. Okay, they're boring. All right, just like I don't want to see Notre Dame in the playoffs. But speaking of Notre Dame, right there they are, sitting above Alabama at number 9. I'm hoping that somebody, whoever the rest of their games are, like 2-3 games left, I'm hoping that somebody pulls an upset. Please beat this team, because once they are taking their third loss, they're going to be done and cooked, just like Texas, which I'm happy that Texas ain't going to play playoffs because they don't deserve to be in the playoffs. Neither does Notre Dame. Okay? I'm telling you, they're not that good of a team. So I'm just rooting for whoever they're playing against to beat them. And since Oklahoma beat Alabama, you got them moving up 3 spots at the number 8 spot. Rightfully earned. They beat Alabama, so you know what? Go ahead, take that 8 spot, Oklahoma. Not really mad at it. Honestly, I don't really have any problem with this ranking right now because it's all going to change next week with these teams losing. But I know the teams that are not in the top 10, they're going to be hoping and praying that teams above them will lose. But at number 7, round out the top 7, you got Oregon. Okay. Well, Oregon, they got to hope that we lose the game, and that's unlikely. You know, there's only really one game left on our schedule after all. So, and we all know how big that game is. Okay. But, yeah, so Oregon, you know, they just got to win out and just see what happens. Their fate basically is in, I believe, they still might get into the college football playoff. I was thinking about in the sense of the Big Ten championship game, right? Because their fate is on our hands. They need either Indiana or us to lose. So they better put all their eggs in one basket, and that basket being Indiana. But I was talking too much. I didn't see who the 16th team. It really doesn't matter. But round out the top 5, we got Texas Tech setting at 10-1. Oh boy, the Red Raiders. Woo! I think they're in the Big 12 if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, they got a solid chance of making the playoffs. If they went out, I don't even see why they wouldn't make the playoffs. If I'm being quite honest. So you gotta be super excited, you know, being in the top 5 right now if you're a Texas Tech fan. Then at number 4, you got Georgia. I was trying to sound funny there when I said Georgia. But yeah, sitting at number 4, you got Georgia. Georgia's probably a lock for the playoffs, and I hope they do make playoffs because I want them. And right above them is you got the undefeated Texas A&M. Right above them, Indiana on a high horse, and of course, right above them, sitting beautifully at number 1, you got the best team in college football, the Ohio State Buckeyes. We're just rolling through our schedule. Like I said, we only got one game left, really. Okay, we're playing Rutgers. Rutgers is kind of like a tune-up game for the real game, and yeah, I'm excited for that game. I actually want this week to kind of go by pretty fast, though. To be quite honest, I'm kind of just dragging my feet. But because I want next week, I'm ready. I'm so excited for that game. Even though it means, obviously, that the regular season is over. But, man, I'm just ready, bro. I'm ready. I don't know how many times I gotta say that. That's why I'm just trying to get this week over with. But yeah, we're at number 1, rightfully so. We're the best team in college football, and that is the top 25. Do I have any problems with this week's rankings? No, not really. I mean, I guess if I had to say something, like Texas should be like ranked lower than what they are, but they're not. They're done anyway. So I mean, other than that, no, I really don't, because I see one. I mean, Oklahoma still. I'm hoping Notre Dame loses the game. Tulane is in there at 12, but I really believe that Tulane is going to lay a big fat goose egg and not make the college football playoffs. I think Tulane is a team that will flounder their chances at making the college football playoffs. So, a lot of these teams are going to lose going forward. So, it'll all sort itself out. I really don't have any problems with the rankings this week. None whatever. It is what it is, But at least now we got more of an idea of where these teams are at and just how important these last few games are in the regular season. I mean, it's 10 times more important now. It was important before the rankings. Now it's 10 times more important after the rankings. So we shall see, We shall see. I don't think Tulane has a chance, though, if I'm being completely honest. But, yeah, I think that's it. That's pretty much the college football ranking playoffs right there. I guess it's just on to the next game for us. Rutgers, here we come. Oh, Rutgers. Supposed to be scared of Rutgers. That's going to be another easy W. But some of these teams may take another L. I think a lot of the teams in the top 10, except for us, will take at least one more loss. I'm hoping that Alabama takes one more L because they could sneak their way in at being number 10. So they're not really in a threat. All they really have to focus on is just winning out, and then they'll get into the college football playoff game. But yeah, that's the rankings right there. The top 25 for this week. Next week is going to be totally different, and we all know that. And yeah, right there, that's going to be the end of the video. And go Buckeyes, OHIO, and I'll see you guys on the next one.